Support Christian content, guys. It's the right thing to do. Like, share, and subscribe. Well, hello, family. Hope you guys are well. It's a nice, cool day today after a long heat wave. Yeah. So recently we got a puppy, and before we got the puppy, I was doing my research on this particular breed, trying to finding out their temperaments, what they like and what they don't like. And what I realized is that when we now brought the puppy home, because of the effort and the sacrifice that went into preparing to receive this puppy, when she rather experienced this love and care, she reciprocated the love. It reminded me of 1 John 4:19. It says, "We love him because he first loved us." Men fell, and after the fall of man, because of love, motivated by love, God gave his son. And his son went to the cross and surrendered his life on the cross because of love. So, as believers, we are children, or we are products of love, and all that we do is because of love. The thing that drives us, the thing that motivates us is love. Somebody could look at us and say, "Why are you guys spending 3-4 hours in church? Why are you guys always reading your Bibles? Why are you guys always praying?" That somebody could look at these things and say, "Why?" But what drives us is not, we are not driven by hate. We are not driven by legalism. We are not driven rather by religion, but we are driven by love. This is what propels us and moves us forward. Why else would people dedicate 100 days of their lives to say, "We are going to pray for a move of God in this nation," if it not be for love? We see it in 1 Corinthians 13:1. It says, "If I speak in the tongues of men and angels, but have not love, I'm only a resounding gong or a clinging cymbal." Later it says, "If I have a faith that can move mountains, but have not love, I am nothing." So for us as believers, we are driven by love because we have been birthed from a place of love. We also see in Romans 5:8, it reads, "But God demonstrates his love for us in this: while we were still sinners, Christ died for us." That this is our story as believers, that we had fallen away, but God loved us. We cannot help it but love God because of what he did for us, because of the sacrifice that he did. And he did all of these things while we were still sinners. We had not done anything. So this love was not based on anything that we did or any performance. It was all because of him. It was an unconditional love, that even if you are in this state of sin right now, I still love you enough that I will give my son for you guys. That we are loved. And I just want to, for those who might be watching this and feeling like you are not loved, I want to tell you today that you are loved. We hear these stories of, I've often wondered, we hear stories of missionaries who leave their families, everything behind, and they go into these unfamiliar territories. I can imagine back in the day that you are going to these places with poor infrastructure. There is no health systems in place. There is no security in place, and you are just giving your life or surrendering your life for the sake of the gospel. That nobody can lay down their life like that except they be driven by love. I like 2 Corinthians 5:14. The first part says, for Christ's love compels us. That we are being compelled by his love. And what does compel mean? It means force someone to do something. That this love is driving people to leave everything behind and say we are going to share God's love with the people. When I was reading about this, I was then taken to Mark 10:28. Let's start it from 28. It reads, then Peter spoke up, we have left everything to follow you. Truly I tell you, Jesus replied, no one has left home or brothers or sisters or mother or father or children or fields for me and the gospel will fail to receive 100 times as much in this present age. I think this is an aspect, for whatever reason, we don't cover in the Bible. That we are, because of this prosperity gospel that is there, we are never shared this part that some people actually leave. Some people walk away from their fields. Some people walk away from their homes, from their jobs. Some people walk away. We saw it with the disciples, that these disciples were businessmen. They were running their fishing businesses, but they left those businesses to go and follow Christ. And Jesus is telling them, nobody's going to do that. Nobody's going to leave these things for me and not receive 100-fold. That there is a reward in doing these things. And these people are not driven by anything. This is not the motivating factor. The motivating factor was that they had encountered Christ and his love. Once you have experienced this love, you will leave everything. This is not meant to scare you guys, but it's just love. That is how love is. Love, for lack of a better word, will make you do things that look unreasonable to other people. We hear these stories. Some of us have even done some of these things where you have driven thousands of kilometers, traveled thousands of kilometers, sometimes even at night, for love. So love will make you do certain things. And once you have encountered the love of God, it will transform you, it will renew you, and you will lay down your life for love. So I just want to encourage you guys that let us not be driven by material things. Let us not be driven by hate. Let us not be driven by religion, but let love be the motivating factor in all that we do. Let us be led by love. Hope you guys are encouraged, and I hope you guys have an amazing day today. Let love lead.